Bonjour everyone, welcome to the player ratings after the 5-2 defeat to Leeds. The quicker we get to this, the better, I think, Keg.
All right.
I want a Wednesday night, who's been embarrassed by Leeds. So, Karl Darlow, how did he get on for you? Conceded a 5, but how many were actually his fault? Because a couple of really good goals from Leeds, to be fair.
Yeah, in fairness, if I try and dissect the goals, I don't really know what more he could have done. I know the first one was a bit unfortunate, just bounced off the bar and straight into the path of Bamford from a yard out. And that he could have done about that one. Harrison's goal was an absolute peach. Yeah, I just felt that he was let down today. I think I'm having like the other ones. Rodrigo's header was a good one in the bottom corner. Dallas and Alioski, Jesus Christ. Fucking anyone could have scored them. Like, just in so much space. The defense majorly let him down the day. Yeah, pulled off a couple of decent saves. I don't know. I don't really know what more he could have done apart from go and kick every single one of the starting 11 players in the fucking face. Yeah, he conceded 5 goals, so he kind of get a good rating. Unfortunately, I'll have to just be generous and go in the middle and give him a 5.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough.
Murphy,
he's not a right back, is he? I mean, why is Bruce playing him as a right back in a back 4? You can play it as a right wing back in a back 5 where he's got defensive cover, but time and time again he was getting caught out, and it's through no fault of his own. You may as well just start playing fucking Joelinton on that right back as well while you're at it, Bruce. Do you know what I mean? Give him a go. If you don't like Yedlin, you don't like Krafth. See what he did up there. Do you know what I mean? What's the point? He's not a right back, man. I mean, we've seen the impact he can have as right mid, more so right wing, of getting crosses into the box, of pace, taking players on. He did that later on in the game when he got pushed further forward and Krafth did come on. He's not a right back. Bielsa, who, funny enough, actually has a football brain, realised straight away that he was the weak link. Oh, who's that? Jacob, wasn't he a winger last year when we played in the Championship, wasn't he? He was. Marcelo, yes. Oh, well, I'll go to him.
Senor.
Because why is this guy playing right back when last year played him against Sheffield Wednesday? He's playing as a fucking right winger. It's front of a front 3. Yeah? Bullshit. Not a right back, not his fault, but defensively not good enough. As you'd assume, it's just not his position. Give him a 5. Won't go too hard on him. He was at fault. He was out of position. He's not good. He's not good defensively, but he's not a defender. So I wouldn't hammer him too much. I'd hammer Bruce for that decision.
I think as soon as Krafth came on, there was a moment where he was bombing forward, and you think, for fuck's sake, man, why haven't we been doing this all game? Like you say, as a right back instead of a wing back, he's got more defensive duties, so he's staying back. But as soon as he got that opportunity to go forward, Krafth came on, he got an opportunity on the wing. He looked better. Like, it was just like a brief second. I think that's when the goal started to rain in on us, so there's not much more he could have done. But it was like an instant impact. It showed you the difference between playing as a fullback and a winger. Fernandez came back the day after his virus spell, captain the night as well. I thought he was alright. He's getting a few blocks in as he does. I think he's got the most blocks in the Premier League. I don't know if he still does. He did a couple of weeks ago, but yeah, he did all right. Not too bad, but again, it's 5 goals conceded. Like, where were the defenders for at least 3 of them goals? At least 3 of them were preventable if we're a little bit more solid at the back. Like, we quite often point the finger at ourselves when we get battered, as he's obviously like let the line down as the captain. He should be doing better. So yeah, maybe he's got to, like, Fernandez had to, maybe he's stepped up a little bit more today, but he has come back. He's only probably had about 2 days at most training, so maybe he's got to feel a bit sorry for him. He maybe shouldn't have started, but it's at a time where we need to rotate the team as much as possible, and players are just going to have to bite the bullet. And I think Fernandez, more than anyone, has to bite the bullet. He did throughout lockdown at the end of last season. So, yeah, I don't want to point the finger at Fernandez tonight, but he'll probably have to get a bang average 5 as well.
Yeah.
Ciaran Clark.
Great header. Very good header. In the bottom corner, keeper had no chance. I don't know why we didn't do it. I mean, I think that was our second corner that we won that night. Why are we not trying to create more down that lane? Why are we not putting more balls into the box? We know Leeds struggle defensively. We know they're good attacking, but we know they struggle defensively. Why are we not getting at them? Clark there, good header. And I think he was pretty organised as well, really. I mean, the back 4 the night, though, just didn't look comfortable at all throughout. I think we're off. Yeah, he had a real handful of Bamford players at him, so it was hard. But he got his goal. I'll give him a 6. He had one good run as well. Actually, I don't think it did lead up to the goal. I think it was Lewis, but he had one good run through the midfield as well. But I give Clark a 6 for his goal. And it was going to be a hard night with him with how much Leeds attacked and pressed.
Yeah. Jamal Lewis kept his place after a bit of a shit show on Saturday against West Brom. It was a bit of a kind of typical Lewis performance from the start of the season, like from a few weeks ago. I think the last few weeks he's been looking better. West Brom game excluding, because he's fucking shit. But the 3-4 games prior to that one, I thought he'd really been looking good. But I don't know, maybe the West Brom game was still in his head. Maybe Darnell Furlong still jumping on his back. I don't know, but it wasn't a great defensive performance. Getting forward, as we say, at the start of the season, he was doing that, getting forward, no issues defensively. Not the best. And I think Leeds played really well today. They were just had all the possession, counter-attacking, high pressing, great football. And as a young, inexperienced defender, Lewis, I didn't really think he had a great game today. Was it him where Dallas was left wide open? Was it him that should have been a bit tighter to him?
It was.
Yeah, a bit disappointed in Lewis today. Probably give him a 4.
Yeah, worrying at the back.
Yeah. Right mid, the goal scorer, Jeff Hendrick.
To be fair, I put the tweet out before the game. I said Hendrick's going to prove me wrong tonight. We need a big game, but that's when we thought he was part of a 2 in the middle, didn't we? That's when he thought he was centre mid. Yeah. Right mid, he made some. To be fair, he made some good blocks. He was tracking back, and then he was in the right place at the right time for the goal. He judged his run well, took his goal well. He had to come off near the end. Whether that was forced or not, I don't know. But I think overall, Hendrick had a pretty good game. He was maybe involved more on the right than he would be in the centre of the midfield, not having to chase things as much in the middle of the park. Or when you're playing with this system, you need your centre mids to try and control the game. You need them to be influential and impactful. And Hendrick and the likes of Longstaff aren't those players. Even Shelby, we don't have the luxury of those players. We just don't. The way we play, we need players like a Kanté or something in the middle of there. Someone who's going to grab the game by the scruff of the neck, who's going to be box to box. We don't have that. Hendrick on the right the other night, like I said, he did some good stuff. He took his goal well. I give him a 7.
I thought he was pretty quiet, a little bit absent up until his goal, but I think the goal was the motivation that he needed up until half time. I thought he was really getting stuck in. I think that was the kick up the arse, like the West Ham game at the start of the season. He played really well, got the assist, and then once he got the assist, pushed on, got a goal. I think he just needs that little bit of motivation up until he gets that. He's just lazy and he's just a bit lackadaisical, but a decent enough performance from him. Isaac Hayden in the middle of the field, a bit of a surprise inclusion, to be fair, considering Brucey said he was absolutely knackered. He rolled out of bed after 10 days rest to play against West Brom, got shoved out of position and played 90 minutes and got man of the match. So understandably, after the game, he's labelled as a doubt, absolutely exhausted, completely understand. He started, which is absolutely typical of Bruce, playing players that aren't fit, or injured, whatever. He did all right today. Good enough. Like you say, like we haven't really got like the middle. Like, we need like a Kanté. Hayden can be that defensively, but he's not the kind of player to pick the ball up, take the game by the scruff of the neck, and push forward. He made a couple of good tackles in the middle of the park, a couple of bad ones as well. I thought he was unfortunate to get given a foul with that one where he went straight through someone's legs, because he won the ball, but got a bit too much of the man. So, yeah, average performance really from Hayden. Credit for sticking in, getting another 90 minutes under his belt when he probably shouldn't have. So I'll give him a 6. And your man, go on. Gone first.
No, I kind of rant again. I kind of get the blood pressure going again. Please, just everyone, if you want a real assessment of Sean Longstaff, just go to the match review now. It's even titled Sean Longstaff rank because that's what it's focused on. At the end of the day, Bruce and him cost us this game. He gave the ball away twice for the goals that were the deciding goals. He's so shit He's been like this for ages, man. When was the last time? Someone tell me, when was the last time that Sean Longstaff had a good game for Newcastle United? And I'm not talking as a number 10 at fucking Oxford in a cup game. I'm talking Premier League. I'm talking week in, week out. Absolute pile of wank. So bad, so slow. So slow, it's unreal. It winds me up. I would say quicksand seconds every week. He cannot move. He's dillying and dallying on the ball. He's unaware of his surroundings. He doesn't know what to do. He doesn't drive forward anymore. What's happened to the player under Rafa Benitez? The player that came through the ranks under Rafa Benitez, a top class player that was linked with several big clubs like Man United, most importantly. You know what I mean? Only if we had got rid of him then. Because, you know, we're all rooted for him. We all want. What we love at Newcastle is a local lad in the team. We can relate to, you know, a Stephen Taylor, a Paul Dummett, upper echelons of Alan Shearer, even Andy Carroll, all these players. You want one in the side. You want one to do well. But you cannot. I'm sorry. Sean Longstaff is not good enough. He's a fucking fraud. He's a massive, massive fraud. He's not good enough for the Championship. I'm telling you, he wouldn't get a game in the majority Championship teams. So why the hell is he playing week in and week out in the Premier League for Newcastle? He gets a pass because he's a local lad. Bollocks. Everyone on Twitter, and us included, rightfully so, hammer Hendrick because he's shit and does nothing. Half at night, he was okay. You know, but on the end of it, you know, Longstaff, week in, week out, he's no better, if not worse than Jeff Hendrick. Let's be honest, he's not. He brings nothing to the side. We're doing the watch longs and we think, I forgot Longstaff was playing.
Maybe when he touches the ball, I'm like, oh, fuck it.
He does nothing. He brings nothing to the side. He's not Premier League quality. He's serious isn't. And I'm gutted because we want him to do well. We want the local lad in there. He's definitely a number 10, not a centre mid. He's not going to fit in our system. If Bruce is not going to play him that 10, that's it. He's not a centre mid. He's not Premier League quality. He's not good enough. A 1 from me. Actually, there's no point in giving him a 1, a 0. He doesn't deserve a 1. He gets a 1 for not 0. Absolute shit today. And it's shit for weeks.
How many times did he get pickpocketed by Bamford? Like, just coming up behind him, like, so easy. Like, it's not as if Bamford, like, really had to, like get his body in the way. He didn't have to show real strength. It was like, I'll take that. Proper Oliver Twist settings. Like, artful dodger, I'll take that. Thank you very much. Like, the goal, getting pickpocketed in his own penalty box, just dilly-dallying on the ball like that. That's criminal. Like, we're conceded a goal because of that and deserve to do so. Like, you cannot do that in the Premier League. You're going to get punished and you deserve to be punished for it. Like, maybe it'll learn you a lesson. Maybe it's a kick up the arse and be like, oh, maybe I shouldn't fucking waste time in my own box. Like, just get it out. Just boot it away. Poor show. Again, like, it's the consistent basis. Like this, like you mentioned before, the comparison, like Jeff Hendrick. Like, he's a bit of a scapegoat, but like, we don't really want to see Hendrick week in, week out. That's not really why we signed him. But as the local lad, the Geordie boy, we do want to see the Longstaff brothers. We want to give them a shot. We want that hero. But Sean Longstaff isn't it. Like, I'm sorry, but we should have cashed in when we had the chance. Was it 30? Was it 50 million Man United were offering? Jesus Christ. That would have been the worst signing in Premier League history had that gone through. But we would have been fucking laughing. Well, Mike Ashley would have been laughing all the way to the bank. We probably wouldn't have seen a penny of it, but probably would have been a transfer worth doing.
You mentioned the brothers now there, though. Like, where's Matty? Matty can't even get on the bench. Get Sean out of the squad completely out of the matchday squad. And get Matty at least on the bench, if not in the starting team. At least Matty's got legs. At least he's got energy. He's got enthusiasm. He gets up and down. He's box to box. Sean does nothing.
I'll slide swiftly on to calm your blood pressure down a little bit. Get that CVD with sunshine. I got on to Ryan Fraser, who was my man of the match today. In a purple and black shirt anyway. I think the man of the match most certainly would have been in a white shirt today, but in Newcastle colours today, Ryan Fraser was the man. I was over the moon to see him back. He was another surprise inclusion, to be fair. I think he was heavily tipped to start from the bench. We haven't seen him in weeks. Get on. We haven't seen Ryan Fraser in weeks, and through the injury. And yes, so from the start of the day was a little bit of a surprise. But he was absolutely class. Helping hard in both of the goals. There was a great ball in from the left-hand side. Wilson got the flick on, so Wilson got the assist in the end. But he was causing a threat down the wing the whole game. was it Dallas on the right back today? I thought Fraser had a great game and got the assist for Ciaran Clark, great corner. I think like when he went off, I don't know if it contributed, but when Fraser went off, like the game was dead. I think like that's maybe when Leeds went into third gear, like maybe the inevitable ending still would have happened should Fraser have still been on the pitch. So I'm not going to say that was a contributing factor, but once he went off, we had no creativity, no pace, no one trying to break into the final third. Nout. Like, his first half performance was absolutely brilliant. The only one who really tried to help get goals today, and he had a helping hand in both of them. So, like because we got beat 5, I feel like it might be very, very generous. But I'm honestly so impressed with Ryan Fraser for pulling his socks up and getting stuck in, helping hand in 2 goals. So I want to give him an 8.
No, I agree. I think when he came off, it was 2-2, wasn't it? So it was still a good point away from home. Sorry about that, by the way. The Ghosts were back in action. Living room door just flew open again. Pretty scary, really. But Fraser, for me, workhorse now. Not just, I mean, look how dead he is in the final third. His crosses are always on a plate. They're always creating chances. But he's always winning free kicks, like scuffling little fouls and causing problems throughout. He was class. Need to keep him fit. And like you mentioned during the watch long, we need to get him in the same action and that playing together.
Like in form now, because Sir Maximin's been out in the last few weeks. I know he's injured at the minute, but the last 3-4 times I've seen him since his contract on Aubameyang things, just doesn't really look interested anymore. So if we can keep Fraser in form, just keep his fitness up, like just to get him better. Miggy playing as well with Sir Maximin back into earlier season form, last season form, it can be really, really good, isn't it? But like Nan, Brucey, once they're all fit, you probably still have one of them on the bench and play 5 at the back. Like,
he will.
Like as soon as we signed them, we said the best formation we can possibly play is like a 4-2-3-1 with Fraser, Miggy, Maxi in behind Wilson, with probably Shelvey and Hayden in the middle, Holden. But we still haven't seen that yet. And to be fair, should we have a fully fit squad, we probably won't either.
No. Brucey loves dropping on me and else, so he's definitely not playing alongside him.
I know. Joelinton.
Whole the play was good.
Yeah.
Apart from his passing, I think his passing's got to be worked on. His passing was a bit inaccurate tonight. There's a couple that went wayward. Apart from that, I mean, it's hard to really have a go at him because we'll come to Wilson as well. You will. It's the same way. It's just there's no chances, isolation settings. You know, what more can they do? I think Joey's whole the play was pretty good. Sometimes his layoffs, like I say, went amiss, but he did alright. I give him a 5.
Mm-hmm. And Callum Wilson up top, I feel like this is just going to be a copy-paste job of what I said about him against West Brom. Just standing up top, not to do. As soon as he gets the ball, he's looking for help, trying to take on 4 or 5 players by himself. What can you do? Like, fucking Messi would have a hard time doing that. I thought he actually really did do well today, though. He got the assist, got the flick on from Fraser's cross. Got the potential penalty. Got wiped out, so it's in the right areas at the right time, just not enough help. Obviously, Fraser's crossing was amazing today. He got on the end of it to set up Hendrick. If we're seeing a bit more of Murphy getting forward, whipping his balls in, like whipping balls in like he did for Gayle the other day, we might have seen a bit more from Callum Wilson in front of goal. But I don't know if he had any more shots on target. Usually, his goal scoring ratio the season's been class. When he scores, when he shoots, he usually scores. But the last 2 games, I don't think he's had any shots on target. He's just been so isolated up top, D and out. But great work rate again, and an assist on the night. So I'll give him a 7. Now the subs, I don't really think they've made much of a fucking impact. Like.
It went downhill, didn't it?
Krafth was the first one for Jeff Hendrick on 62 minutes.
I mean, the defence the whole team capitulated. I mean, I'm not sure where Krafth was for the goals, to be honest. It's turned into a bit of a blur now, but either way, how easy it was for Leeds, especially what comes to mind for me is it's 3-2, I think, and we have a corner. and it's that easy for Leeds. It's about 4 or 5 white shirts on 2. And there's no Newcastle players tracking back. There's no one caring. There's no one trying. Leeds are like, oh, let's see how many we can get here. Leeds are like going for it, whereas we're just like uninterested, unmotivated, poor. I don't know. Can you really point? I have to see the goals back, to be honest with you, for Krafth. But just for the, I just give him a 5.
Yeah. And the other 2, I barely remember seeing. We had Dwight Gayle on at 74 minutes. Miggy Almiron 75 minutes. From what I've seen, apparently Dwight Gayle touched the ball 5 times. I can't remember if he touched the ball maybe once. I think it's a bit unfair to rate them. Like 15 minutes is enough impact, really. Like, you've seen players make impact in 15 minutes, like Dwight Gayle did the other day. But the game was gone by that point. It was just after 15 minutes left on the clock. It was a matter of how many can they score. Like, they had all the possession, just counter-attacking all the time. Like, if there was another 5, 10, 15 minutes on the clock, it could have been 6 goals, 7 goals. Like, they were just lining up. Like, they literally were for Alioski's goal. They were literally lining up to put the ball in the back of the net. So no inclusion really from Gayle and Almiron. It's down to Bruce. We'll just move straight on to Steve Bruce. What about him tonight?
4 at the back was wrong with the clientele he picked. Murphy, mentioned it earlier, not a right back. You kind of put him up there defensively. You know Leeds are going to be attacking and create chances. Sold him down the river the night. Gave him absolutely no chance. Lewis, I mean, it's hard because when you get Williams back, when you competition for that place, he's dropped, but you kind of drop him at the minute unless you played Matt Ritchie there. He dropped Almiron tonight, which was harsh considering Almiron worked his arse off the other night and got the opening goal. He did put Jeff Hendrick in against everyone's anger and disagreement, who did score. So, you know, but it's the tactics. Again, it comes down to Brucey Ball. Again, it comes down to watching it live and seeing nobody in the opposition half. Nobody. I'm talking Wilson has to drop halfway there, an hour and a half to get the ball, and there's no one. Absolutely no one around him. There's no chance of getting forward. There's no chance of creating any chances. One of the goals finally comes from a corner, only our second corner of the game, when we're about 60 odd minutes in. It's an absolute mess, man. We know how bad Leeds are defensively. We scored 2 goals tonight after only having a few shots. Imagine if we actually had took the game to them. Maybe we would have won 5-4. You know, maybe we would have won 4-2. But now we'll sit back, we'll defend, we'll let them play like we will every week. It's another week of 30% possession football against a side that's just been promoted.
Every week, though. Like, it doesn't matter if it's a recently promoted side, whether it's Liverpool, Tottenham, West Brom, it's always 30% possession. Like, is that the game plan? Is it like, oh, well, lads, just keep it around about 30-35%? The one, no more, no less. Like, what's the crap?
You've had 6 passes in a row there, lads. 6 passes in a row.
Chill out, like, I didn't get it, man. Like this is what we tried. Like, we touched on this on the in the match review. I'm fucking sick of talking about Steve Bruce now, man. Like,
it's true. I mean, there's one game. The game we've had the most percent this season was at home to Burnley, and that was still 48%. Mm-hmm. So Burnley still had more possession than us when we were at home. Yeah, I mean, Brucey Ball for me tonight gets a 0. We've got to be 5-2 off the championship team. I mean, I rate Leeds. I like Bielsa. I like where they play. This is the same starting 11 that pretty much played in the championship. Ball Rodrigo, but he was off the pitch when we went on and scored an extra 3 and 1. So you know, it's legitimately a championship side, and Brucey has had hundreds of millions of pounds to spend now. You know, he's got players up top there, a lot of money, and Bielsa's hasn't really spent. Like I said, it's near enough the championship team that he brought up. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we get beat 5-2, so 0 for Bruce.
Yeah. Right, wait, that'll do because we've got Fulham to look forward to, and I just cannot wait for that.
2-1 Fulham. Who did you first? Get your money on it. Got your player ratings in the comments below. Keep them coming. Try and reply to them tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Make sure you smash a like on this video. Check out the rest of the videos from tonight. We've got a watch along, some fan cams, Sean Longstaff ranking, a review, and subscribe where you are, please. And we'll see you, unfortunately, on Saturday night.
Great.
Never know. Thanks, Matey. We might get a good result for Kane. Come on.
Fucking better day, Brucey.
Brucey, it's his birthday, man. Feel nice. You never know.